wrote a story, and I was like, I'm gonna write a love story. So I wrote a love story, and I'd like to read it for you right now. It's called Winter for Vernie. Vernie, like Alvernia, but Vernie's a woman, not a school. I just thought it'd be like cool to write a love story about like two old people who are really in love. They're wanting it to snow plenty. Vernie's singing above the radio, washing a dinner dish and sort of giddy. Her wrinkled face smiling into the steam rising from the sink. A few crazy white strands floating in the vapor. Radio says we're going to get a couple feet, Butis. I do just love February, she sings. Stormy weather, worst storm of the year. Gonna get you all to my crazy lonesome for a couple days, looks like. We'll melt the snow for a mile around. How's about that, old man? But for the last couple months, Butis is always trying to read, trying to write or play guitar, trying to paint his masterpiece, trying to light his pipe. Butis is scratching in the dirt, glassing the rings of Saturn, whistling a requiem. Butis is searching for the last piece, intuiting the affinity of trees and spaceships, contemplating heaven, or is in heaven itself. He never knows which. It makes no difference. These days, Butis always keeps himself busy about exactly one or more of those things, and really listening to Vernie, even though right now it looks like he's ignoring her, just standing there studying a picture on the wall, pulling on a cob pipe, hand in his overalls as the snow clouds pile up outside, and Vernie muses, "How I do love the snow, Butis, and how all the bamboo gets." But Butis is looking at a picture he painted a long time ago when they first moved up here on a scandalous notion. Vernie's sister told her fruit won't grow good that far north, and she was basically right. But Butis soon took up painting, and Vernie soon told her friends, "I'm married to a genius." It's hanging on the wall above the couch. It's called Springtime for Vernie, and shows their tiny cottage on the little orchard, dwarfed and triangulated by 3 massive oaks. The crumbling barn they only use for firewood now obscures part of the foreground. The lilac bush, the rhododendron, and the 4 ancient rows of apple and pear trees are all in blossom. If you look close, you see a tiny figure lurking in the bamboo stand that grows right up to one side of the place. That's Vernie, because she loves to go in there and pray, she says, in the stand of bamboo. She's always saying, "Butis, I do love to stand in them bamboos and pray. I'm praying for you, Butis. I'm waiting for you to give me a kiss." So Butis painted her in there in the springtime. In the winter, though, the bamboo gets all bent over with snow. Bamboos 25 feet tall that lean down and obscure the place completely with long, icy bows that catch the moonlight, Vernie says, and the starlight too when they're sleeping. You should paint it and call it Wintertime for Vernie. It'll be your masterpiece. But where will Vernie go, he wonders. Gonna snow a whole lot. Butis, you hear me? Gonna get you all to my crazy lonesome lover. Just look at you, my genius. Always staring at your pictures, ain't you? And he's already painted the cottage in the summer, which he called Summertime for Vernie. And if you look close, you'll see Vernie walking the rows of the gnarled fruit trees. She just loves that. She says, "Butis, I do love to go in there and walk among them rows and pray." She says, "I do. I'll never know why, but I'm praying for you, Butis. I'm waiting for you to give me a kiss." So Butis painted her real tiny in the apple and pear trees next to the cottage in the summer, and hung that one on the wall above the bed over there. In the winter, he drags the bed across the room nearer to the fireplace, because Vernie says to. Because Vernie's sister told her she'd burn in hell for running off to live in that shack and just scrape by with the likes of Butis. So since that first winter, Vernie always says, Butis, might as well pull the bed across the room close to the fire so we can get used to it. You should paint how we do that, Butis, and call it winter time for Vernie. It will be your masterpiece. But where will I put you, Vernie? He wonders. Gonna be right in that bed over there, Butis, once you drag it next to the fire, waiting for you all by my crazy lonesome. Gonna get snowed in, don't you know? And he's already painted the cottage in the fall, which he called autumn for Vernie, and the roof all blanketed with leaves. And if you look close, you'll see Vernie down there, burning a big pile of them beneath the oaks with the smoke curling up, and her leaning on a big stick in the wind of things. How she says, with the smoke curling up through the branches and brushing that hair of hers away from those eyes, how she says, Butis, I could just burn leaves all year round. It is so peaceful. And pray with the smoke rising. I'm praying for you, Butis, and waiting for you to give me a kiss. So Butis painted her burning the leaves and hung it on the wall above the radio there. In the winter, Vernie says, Butis, we got everything we need, don't we? Our books, our trees, our radio. Got the whole world and then some is what we have, darling. You should paint how that is with us and call it wintertime for Vernie. It'll be your masterpiece. But where will I put you, Vernie? He wonders. I'll be reading my book, Butis, and listening to the soothing sounds of Paul Kaiser on the radio, right here. Waiting on you, beautiful. Got all the time in the world and then some. Like I always tell you, Butis. Remember, you is genius, lover boy. Are you listening to me, Butis? Now Vernie's singing, Butis, Butis. And Butis is listening, really listening to Vernie, even though right now it looks like he's ignoring her. Just standing there, studying a picture on the wall, pulling on a cob pipe, hand in his overalls as the snow whips against the window glass. When the phone starts to ring. You should get that, Butis, Vernie says. Butis pulls on the pipe and takes one last look and says, I'll get it, Vernie. Hello? Hi, Uncle Butis. Hello? Uncle Butis, it's Kathy, your niece. Oh. Hi, Patty. I'm saying Autumn's the best one so far, I think, but Vernie here, she says, listen, Uncle Butis, Ron and I were wondering whether we should drive over there tomorrow, or whenever, and shovel you out. It's starting to snow like crazy. And I just feel awful about you being over there all by yourself, you know, since Aunt Vernie passed. And me and Ron just thought we could come over and, well, we haven't seen you since Thanksgiving, and... No, I'm busy tomorrow. I'm busy when the snow is done. Who is this? I'm all right. I'm fine. I mean, I think Autumn's the best one because of the way the smoke rises up there. But Vernie, she says winter's going to be my masterpiece. So I got to get to it. But I was just wondering where she's going to go. I was wondering about that for a while there. But now I got it figured out. Uncle Butis, Patty, I'm going to put her back in the bamboos again, like I did in the summer. Even though they'll be all bent over the place with the snow and ice, like a cage. That's where I'll put her and keep her. because she likes the way they do that, you know. So I'll paint her in there, because Vernie's always telling me. But some woman on the phone is saying, Uncle Butis, I'll call to see how you're doing tomorrow. This is Kathy. I will call. But Butis is thinking, Vernie here, she's telling me winter's going to be my masterpiece, ain't you, Vernie? You come to bed now, Butis. Plenty of time for art tomorrow, my little genius. Me and you going to get all snowed in tonight. Got you all to my lonesome.